What's up, guys? Rick Dem here, Holy Moly Outdoors. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. We're going to continue on our squid fishing series. Like I said, we've already talked about how to put together a squid jig. We've talked about how to fish these, and we've touched on even places where to go in Puget Sound to fish for them. One thing, though, that I did hint at a previous video was talking about a light setup and how you guys can get ready. So we're going to show you this tonight on how to get your own easy, simple light setup for fishing off of the piers. Stay tuned. Alright guys, so like I said, we're talking about a light setup for you guys that fish off the piers for squid. Something does not have to be complex, honestly, guys. And in fact, you don't really need a light source all the time. Many of our piers in Puget Sound are already lit. In fact, one of our most popular piers down in Seattle has the giant wheel that lights it up pretty much the whole night until midnight. So you don't have to have a light source. Now, in certain circumstances, it definitely allows you to have an advantage of more schools of squid nearby. So I wanted to put together this video to help you guys out that had questions about how can I get an easy light setup to work. So we're going to go over that a couple things today, because there's a couple different lights, there's a couple different ways to power the lights, and I will go through all that for you. So first thing we're going to look at is light types. So there are two popular consensus on the lights. One, energy efficient, and now they're coming out with some pretty bright lights, would be LED. These guys do not use a whole lot of energy. They're easier because they also don't get super hot. Just all is personal preference on that end. So you can get away with more on the LED than you can with option 2. Halogen lights. Any of you construction workers might have one of these lying around. Hardware stores also have these. The halogen light is a little different. This takes more energy. It puts out a different light. You're looking at more of a yellow light with a halogen, and you're looking at more of a white bright light with a LED. Sometimes does that make a difference? It can, but I typically depend on what I choose for the lights is based upon what I'm doing to power them. So two different lights. These are roughly about the same size, so I try to keep it as even matched as possible, and we'll go through showing you how these work. So you pick a light. You can buy, again, hardware store, either one of these. So everything will be in the link description below if you guys want to pick up what I'm using. But you got two of these. Now, I'll take a step back because I said there are different ways to power these. First off, a generator, right? If you want to go out, spend money on a generator, you may already have a portable generator that works for you. I wouldn't recommend jumping into squid fishing and going and spending $400 on a generator. It's not necessarily needed. However, if you happen to have a small one already, or picked one up over the holidays, maybe one of the sales or something, that might be something that works. I have a small little Sportsman generator that I got at Walmart on Black Friday to help with the house in case of an emergency. But reality is I also can use that one for squid fishing. So it's smaller, it's compact, and it'll work. However, again, because it's a generator, you're now having to carry something that's really heavy with you to the pier. So brings option 2. The secondary option is you can run those lights off of batteries. Now these can be marine deep cycle batteries, and I highly recommend this one for someone that is just getting started, because you probably already have a marine cycle battery. If you have a boat, you probably already have a marine cycle battery. I happen to have a couple extras that I use intermittently if I want to go squidding. So the setup I'm going to show you here is going to be what I would bring to the pier myself. Trying to minimize the amount of gear carrying, so we're going to keep it straight, easy, and we'll go from there. So first setup is going to be completely battery based. So we talk a battery, right? I have a Group 27D Deep Cycle Marine battery, okay? This is housed in a smart box. This is just allows for an easier connection, protects it a little bit more on the weather. I do have a battery indicator on the top, and we'll go to a front view to show you guys this. You'll see what I mean. So, battery ready to go. The next thing you will need in order to power these lights is a way to convert the battery energy into something that the light source will be able to pull from. So I was at one of the holiday sales and picked up a power inverter. Now what's nice, this has battery clips to this so that I can take one of the batteries, turn it now into where it's putting enough output where I can plug in, my lights will work. I happen to have, for my setup, 2 of these LEDs, and that's what I would bring down to the pier. Very straightforward. You put those together, set the lights up right next to the edge of the water, point them down, boom, there you go. Some guys can go spend more money and get, a longer LED light bar. You can get some really big LED square lights that draw quite a bit more power than what I have here. So it's really all what you guys want to do. But this is a basic setup that will work, get you going. So let's go down to the camera and show you guys how this all puts together. Alright, so you guys can see light box has an LED light indicator, which is nice to know where my charge is at. So I will take my inverter, I will put this on my battery, negative to negative, positive to positive, just like anything else. Turn the power on. Now I have my LED set. My inverter is on. Now I can take my light source here. The LED version of mine actually has a decent cord length, so I don't need an extension cord. I have my slot open for the power cable here. I'm gonna put that in. Then all I gotta do is turn this on. So when that turns on, you can obviously see there it is a pretty bright white light. Now, this isn't necessarily the Taj Mahal of LED lights. You can get some that are quite a bit bigger, quite a bit brighter. So I went of a more standardized work LED light, and to be honest, it works decent off the pier. So didn't spend a lot of money and something that's going to work for me. Now granted, this is covering about 30 watts of draw. So 30 watts versus 500, it's pretty substantial. I can hook 2 of these lights up to the same inverter and have a double light setup versus running the halogen light. It won't even last on that battery setup. So that is the battery setup. Very simple and easy. I'll go through everything in the link description like I mentioned, but you guys can see there it's efficient. Do you need it necessarily? No, but those that want the light set up for their own, this is a cheap way to get into it and not have to have hundreds and hundreds of dollars invested. For the purposes of tests at home, I don't want to use my generator obviously inside my house, so I'm not going to fire that thing up. But what you guys can see there is the halogen light. I have it plugged into my wall outlet, which is roughly going to be similar to what will come out of the generator. I will turn this on and showcase you guys how bright this is. There's a significant difference in brightness due to how many watts are pulled. It also has a significantly difference in the amount of heat that this light puts out. So anything close to a halogen light, it's going to get hot. So you have to be aware of that as well. But we'll showcase you guys the halogen light test now. It pretty much brightens up the entire room in here. So a halogen light is great. It does what it needs to do, but requires a lot more power to facilitate it. So Halogen light setup is perfect to go with a generator. LED light setup works great with a battery or a generator as well. So gives you a couple options there, and I hope this helps you guys out. Alright guys, so what you saw there was two examples of two different lights, and like I said, there are two different ways to set those up. With the LED lights, you can go with a marine battery and an inverter, and you have a setup that you can go easily be carried on a small cart, and you're ready to set to fish really any pier in Puget Sound. A halogen light setup is a little different. It requires a lot more energy draw, and you're going to probably need a generator to facilitate that. And to be honest guys, out of the experience that I have been around Puget Sound, don't expect that you're going to have a lot of room on the piers to plug into an outlet. If there are any outlets that are available, most of them are already going to be taken up. So I either bring my portable battery to bring my own source of power, or I bring my generator. Honestly, if you have the generator, you may be able to run longer, sustaining those halogen lights. There's so much that goes into this, but making it simple for you guys that are looking to get a basic light setup, I would go the battery route option. There are some really nice LED lights that are on places like Amazon you can buy. I know a lot of the Squid Facebook pages and other stuff talk about the specifics of those, so I will let them take that. What you saw in this video today, the LED light, that was from Home Depot. The halogen light was from Harbor Freight. They were not more than $20 when I bought them on both, so really inexpensive on the lights. The battery itself was roughly about $70, but I already had that for my boat. And then your inverter, I think, was on sale when I got it for like $25, $30. So roughly out the door, you're going to be about a little over $120 if you have to buy everything together. That's still cheaper than going and buying an entire generator and then the lights on top of that. So squid fishing, guys, is so fun. It allows a lot of innovation. It allows a lot of people to do what they can come up with. So really what I brought you today is not what everybody uses. So don't think it's the only thing. If you can think of an idea to use a 30-inch light bar and a couple floodlights on top of that, by all means, you can rig up some cool stuff. I'm going to be making a video here showing a light setup for the boat that will also be pretty unique, so you guys can see a few different ways to do it. Because fishing off the piers in Puget Sound, if you have a light source there or have a ton of other people, they might bring their own. You may also then run a certain situation where bringing your own makes you more successful. So I really hope this helps you. Why don't you give us a thumbs up tonight? I really appreciate you showing up. There's going to be a lot more coming soon, so stay tuned. You're not going to miss out what's next. A lot more from Holy Moly, a lot more squid fishing, and frankly, a lot more fishing in Washington State. So thanks again, guys. We'll catch you out on the water. Take care and fish on!